a white boy, okay,
So this is Jhood, one of Whack 100's proteges, and ADAM22 is about to let us know a very interesting thing about Jhood. As ADAM22 will, later on in this video, you'll see that he has leaked screenshots of the No Jumper group chat where Jhood is asking why Sydney Starr did not choose him. Now, let's get into this real quick, because for those of you guys who don't know, Sydney Starr. So yeah, man, this is Sydney Starr. Sydney Starr is a man that has transitioned into a woman. And Sydney Starr was made famous because Sydney Starr lied and said that I don't know if it was a proper pronoun, but this person said that they had relations with Chingy. And that was extremely damning at the time, and at the time destroyed Chingy's career, as you will hear in this Vlad interview where she talks about meeting Chingy.
I met Chingy at a show. I was a backup dancer at a show in Chicago. It was backstage. I would say, I was probably one of the most popular backup dancers / go-go dancers in Chicago. And I met him.
That's extremely disheartening if it's true, because with all the women available, no.
I want him in the back, and I was like, hey, how you doing? Being nice. Asked him for a picture, and after that, I kind of like stood around him and stuff, and kind of just was like, being cool with him. And I would say that was how I actually probably.
So that leads to Chingy losing his career because at that time, it wasn't accepted to be dealing with a man who had decided to become a woman, and ended up that's being a lie. But that's who Sydney Starr is. Now, why is Sydney Starr in the headlines right now? Well, let's see. And I want to give a big shout out to Truth Diamond Tea Brew. Give her a like, comment, subscribe. In the Tea Hive. Okay, I see you.
Here it is. Here it is. Here's what we have been waiting for. We have been waiting to see footage of Sydney Starr getting arrested at the Embassy Suites Hotel over in Hapeville, Georgia. And as you guys can see, more than one unit came to the hotel. I did speak to the hotel this morning. If you guys did not see my video, I surely did speak to the hotel. And they surely did give me an update. They said they felt like the little boy was scared, which is what prompted them to call and report the situation, such as Sydney having a young man in her hotel that should not be there.
Now, how did you get the 13-year-old boy is the question, Mrs. Starr?
So,
Mr. and or Mrs. Starr, I guess.
Here is actual video footage, and as you can see, they do have an ambulance there because it is a child. Let's hear some. Let's get a.
Usually is not resolved quickly.
Let's get some audio.
Sydney Starr, a fucking molester.
Wow, so the people at the hotel.
Sydney Starr, y'all. Sexually assaulting a fucking 13-year-old at a hotel.
Oh my God.
This type of investigation usually is not resolved quickly. And I know that it's stressful. And I'm sorry that this has interrupted y'all's life. I'm interested in doing it thoroughly so that justice can be served properly.
Yeah.
So I appreciate, again, your patience. And I appreciate your understanding in that process. I really do. It makes my job easier. And it's going to make for the best outcome in the end.
And hopefully more
this type of investigation.
My. So I would like to know who that was talking in the camera. I want to know if that was the child's mother. So because the correction was that the child was actually 13, right? So is this the child's mother? Who is this woman here? Is this Miss Sylvia? Is this one of the clerks that called? Why did Sydney Starr think that she was so unrecognizable in Atlanta that people were not going to recognize the fact that she was going into a hotel room with a little boy that they know has nothing to do with?
Now, this is a Mickey, Icky, Vicky, Tricky, Sticky situation. I appreciate Truth Diamond and the Tea Brew. Shout out to all the Tea Hive. But let's take it back to where this makes sense into Jhood's world. Because you kind of wonder, well, why do we care about this, Rich Trapper? Why is this relevant conversation and information? Well, let's start off with Jhood having this to say about his time in the county jail.
in time when you're in jail.
If you don't defend yourself, you gonna be somebody.
Yeah.
That is a very uncomfortable conversation, but all right, let's see how this correlates to Sydney Star.
I seen that. That's crazy that you said that, because I seen you had a situation where you were being moved to Wayside.
Yeah.
And there was some women you thought were women were calling
No, man. Wasn't no women. Those was grown ass men. They looked like women. They looked it. So look, I'm going to Wayside, right? My first time in LA County Jail. I'm going to Wayside. And I didn't know what powder blues meant. I didn't know. So
for those of you guys who don't know, in the Los Angeles County jail system, you have the regular blues that are just general population. You have the browns that are medical. Greens are trustees. Yellow tops with blue bottoms are mental health. Orange is high power. Red is you're in the hole. I forget what all yellow is. I want to say it's like maintenance or maybe something like that. And then you have like special porters that have like white and all that kind of stuff. Blah 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 blah. Regardless of all things, when you are in the Los Angeles County Jail and you see the gentlemen that are in the powder blues and they are of a male on male persuasion, if you will, it's pretty easy to tell that these are all men. Nobody really has an issue of, wondering maybe not if these are or are not, men. When it's all said and done, you're in an all male facility. So I don't know. You're in an all male facility. So I'm kind of wondering why you would even think that you would be able to see a woman. Like, why would you think that? Like, that doesn't even make sense. You're in an all male jail. Why would you think women are available? So when Jhood tells his story, it just kind of makes you go, huh. All right.
I walked by the court tank and I said, "Ooh, baby, look at him. Ooh, yeah." And they like got titties and everything. So I'm like, I'm about to go inside the No, youngster. No, they selling sauce.
So you finna go inside the court tanks. You seen all them men in there and decided, yep, this is where in an all-male jail, in an all-men's jail, you saw these men and decided, yep, this is where I need to be, right here. All right.
This youngster. I said, what? He said, boy, no, they ain't selling fish. They selling sausage. What the fuck? What you mean they selling sausage? And those is men. I said, good looking. Good looking. Almost dodged a bullet. I wonder what they would have did if I would have walked in that court tank. They probably would have whooped my ass, huh? The punks.
I wonder what they would have did if I walked inside. So now you are fantasizing about what would have happened if you would have walked into a room in jail, walked into a room full of men that enjoyed the company of men outside of okay.
Shit, who knows?
They probably would have thought it was probably that type of party, yeah.
Oh wait, hold on, Jhood. What was that?
I wonder what they would have did if I would have walked in that court tank. They probably would have whooped my ass, huh? The punks.
Shit, who knows?
They probably would have thought it was probably that type of party, yeah.
Whoa. Look into this man's eyes. Look into this man's eyes. This is the eyes of a man who thinks it's that type of party. All right. With the finger in the mouth. Whoa. The finger in the mouth makes it even more. Goodness gracious. Who else is uncomfortable? Just me? Anybody else uncomfortable here? Now, as Jhood has his finger in his mouth.
That's crazy that you even were able to get that close to him.
Shit, nigga.
They weren't PCs or?
Yeah. It's not like, okay. The PCs would be in this court tank and the GPs would be in the court tank right next to them.
Oh, no shit.
You could run inside the PC court tank if you want to. They do it all the time.
Really?
They whooped, what's it called, ass?
We talking about Eric Holder?
Yeah.
But he was whooped by another PC though.
You sure?
That's what I heard. It was a
Already
Mexican.
got whooped by.
So again, that's his, viewpoints of that community. Now let's tie it all into Sydney Star. I just wanted you guys to have an understanding of the type of person that we're dealing with. So ADAM22 decides to release this from the No Jumper, or I don't know if Adam released it, but somebody decides to release this from the No Jumper group chat. No Jumper host wants to know why Sydney Star did not take him instead of the, yeah. So this is a situation with Sydney Star. It says Sydney Star banging in blah, blah, blah. As you can see it. And Jhood goes, why not me? Wow. So, yeah, man. Adam thought that we should know this, and Jhood wants us to, he wants to do whatever with Sydney Star, and that's his business. That's his business. Should he choose to live in such a colorful matter? You know what I'm saying? We love that for him. With that all being said, we finna get up out of here to the next one. Red dots to the left, you know the rest. Say a prayer and be blessed. We go.